Hi, welcome. My name is Dale McCluskey, and I want to take a few minutes just to give my personal testimony of what Christ has done for me, and a encounter I had probably about 3 years ago now, which really showed me just how much Jesus Christ loved me, and just for anyone out there that's viewing this that is struggling in their faith, or they are seeking answers, and that if you're looking for truth as to who Jesus is, to look in the mirror, so to speak, and to stop looking around at everything else that is going to just cause you to put up a wall. And because that's what I had done, most of my life. I grew up in a home that was very much all about rules, and I knew the gospel, but the love part just wasn't there for me. And so when I, years in, as I was a police officer for many years, and I believed in God, but I never put Him front and center or beyond that. I just didn't know how to, or I guess I looked at how I was raised, and for me, God was just about judgment and rules, and hell and brimstone. So it was all about just God is going to basically punish me, and He was a barrier to how I could live my life. I wanted to live my life, and deep down I knew, though, if I wanted to, because I knew it. Deep down I knew there would have to be a trade-off. That was there. That was there too. That was one of these things that I knew was there, but I didn't want to admit. And so I just kind of put it off, because again, I wanted the world. I wanted the flesh. I put my identity in my job, and which many people do, and so I carried on through until I hit the wall, hit a point in my life where my career went away. I got mixed up in a relationship that I shouldn't have, and it just what happened was, it took my legs out. It took my legs out. And my pride was a big thing. I know it's a big issue with, I still struggle with that. And I know that's a big issue when it comes to a lot of other people. But for me, my legs were taken out. Where I put my identity in, that was removed. It caused me to look in the mirror and look at my life and where I was going and what I was seeking and what I'd filled my life with. And so at that time, I was, I knew the Bible. I believed in God. And at this time, it really caused me to face off and say, well, what is this really about? What's the point of where I'm going? Is there more? Am I missing something? If there is more, how do I encounter that? And I could feel God really tugging at me, and really starting to pull me towards Him as to who He was, and basically look in the mirror is what I had, that look in the mirror moment. And because again, I went through the motions. I was great at going through the motions. I went to church my whole life, but it wasn't relational. It wasn't about really having a true encounter with who Jesus is and really facing off to that reality until I was, this time, 38 years old. And what happened was, I ended up coming to that point where I couldn't look around anymore and use any excuse. I had to look at myself, and then I forced me to let the walls drop and really come to that point where I truly wanted to know, is God really real, in the way that I knew knowledge-wise. I knew the theology, But beyond that, who is Jesus? I mean, is he who he says he is? And I ended up coming down to a point where I was on my knees. I mean, I was on my knees in surrendering to Jesus, and I could just feel God leading me that way. But I opened my mind to that reality, and it got real for me. I moved to Tennessee. I just could feel. I just knew God was real. I just knew it because I allowed myself to step out of the boat. I really did. I took that step of faith, and I just it was just between me and Him. It wasn't about anything else. And so this vision I had, and I want to come on here to talk with this because I know that this will be a encouragement to somebody. And so for me, it was I was in Tennessee, and in the middle of the night, I was laying there. This is just after I gave my life to Christ, and I felt just His presence. This wasn't a dream. People talk about lucid dreaming, but this wasn't. This was real. This wasn't this experience I had, this encounter I had with Him. It wasn't just a dream. I was taken out of my body, and I was going up, just going up, and it was just overwhelming. I had complete love, complete joy. I experienced it. It was all just white, and I knew God was there. God was there. Jesus was there, because I felt Him. It was totally connected to Him, and it was just a experience that I can't even, words don't give it justice. It made me feel the love I experienced in that moment. It made me feel just totally inadequate as to what I knew, and the love I had in my life was inadequate anyway. But it was something that I experienced that you can't put into words. And Jesus, I encountered Jesus, and when I was going up, and it was a perfect love. It was and when people talk about it, wasn't type of group hug thing. It was a specific individual love that Jesus has just for me, and it was made known to me. It has the same love for everybody else. It was a perfect love, and it rocked me to my core, because I knew that nothing could hold up to it, and it wasn't. It was. And I believe Jesus gave me a glimpse into this for a reason, and He wanted me to see it, get a glimpse of it. And when as I was going up, the verse I know says, God, you always think about that. How is it that we could go up into heaven and not, think about our marriage or love? I want to tell you something. I was going up. I didn't want to come back. I mean, it was unbelievable experience. It was like I was in a different dimension of reality altogether. I didn't want to come back, and I didn't have a thought in my mind about anybody, but just with being with Jesus. And so when we say every tear is removed, I know it. And so after this experience, it shook me up so bad I didn't even talk to my wife about it for a couple of days. And it stayed with me. It's remained, and it's really allowed me to see things, how so much about how we think. Really, it's just these arguments we make, and how we frame things up to put walls up. And don't get me wrong, there's lots of fake and phony people out there, or want to bring judgment down. First thing you hear, is hell and judgment and fear. But fear isn't gonna do it. It might get your attention, but you're not, to be in a loving relationship. It's the Father. It's Jesus, God's the Father. So of course sin isn't gonna enter the kingdom. I mean, we have to repent. I mean, we have to come to face off on what Jesus did for us. It's a free gift. Salvation's a free gift. There's nothing you can do. You can't earn it. You can be a good person and everything. That's not it. You have to you have to come to a point in your life where you're willing to surrender, and you're willing to say, Lord, forgive me. I mean, I'm a dirty, rotten sinner. And through what Jesus did, I mean, that's how we enter the kingdom. I mean that's it. And I know Jesus doesn't want anyone to go to hell. I mean he doesn't. I mean, it's about love. I mean, if you're looking for something in encountering Jesus, the answer is love. Okay, the answer is love. It's not condemnation and just fear and don't listen to that. The message is love. The message I want to share with people watching this video is, if you want to encounter Jesus, look in the mirror and ask yourself the question, do I really want to know Him? And do I really want to know Him? And do I want to encounter Him? Because there is a trade-off. I mean, there's a choice you have to make. I mean, you can't. Gospel transforms. It transforms who you are, because that's what it does. It doesn't allow you to hold on to your past agenda. I mean, you let go of it. And we're all in process. So I just want to just give you this video, because I know it's going to be an encouragement to somebody. And and don't ever think because you're raised a certain way and you understand the Bible, but get to that point where you're actually it's real. And for me, I had to have my legs kicked out and to see it, and come to that point where I had to face it. And for me, so anyway, God bless. I hope this is encouraging to you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email me about them, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. God bless.